Hello, and welcome to this Miklix video where I'm going to show you how to defeat the boss called Spiritcaller Snail in Spiritcaller Cave and Mountaintops of the Giants in Elden Ring. As you probably know, bosses in Elden Ring are divided into 3 tiers. From lowest to highest, field bosses, greater enemy bosses and finally demigods and legends. Spiritcaller Snail is in the lowest tier, field bosses, and is the end boss of the Spiritcaller Cave dungeon in Mountaintops of the Giants. Like most lesser bosses, defeating it is optional in the sense that it is not required in order to progress the main story of the game. This boss is similar to the Spiritcaller Snail I fought back in Rodan's Catacombs in Liurnia of the Lakes, except that the worst thing that one summoned was a Crucible Knight, which, to be fair, was bad enough at the time, but this one starts out the fight by summoning a Godskin Apostle, and once that one is dead, it will summon a Godskin Noble before the snail itself reveals its presence and is open to attack. Throughout the dungeon leading to the boss, I encountered several lesser Spiritcaller Snails. They would only summon wolves and the like, so they weren't huge issues to deal with, but served as a reminder of how these glowing invertebrates operate. I will admit that I had done a bit of reading up on this boss before I faced it, so I fully expected to fight the Godskin Apostle and Godskin Noble at the same time, which is why I had decided in advance to call in the aid of my gal pal Black Knife Tish on this one, as having to deal with multiple enemies on my own tend to trigger my infamous headless chicken mode, which is neither a great gaming experience nor pretty to behold. As it turns out, first I had to fight the Godskin Apostle, and then the Noble would appear afterwards, making the fight a lot easier than I had anticipated. That's one of the very few times this game has given me a good surprise. Usually things are way worse than I expect. Saying that I regret summoning Tish would probably be a bit much, but I do remember Godskin Apostles to be fairly fun fights on my own, whereas Godskin Nobles are just annoying and need to die as soon as possible. I assume you have fought both types before, but in case you somehow haven't, the Godskin Apostle is tall and stretchy, and can reach quite far. I generally find this enemy type fairly fun to fight. The Godskin Noble is short and stout, but surprisingly agile for his stature. He will poke at you with quick rapier thrusts, lay on his side and roll around, and is overall the much deadlier of the two. Once both the summoned spirits have been defeated, the snail will appear and be open to attack. I'm not sure if you only have a short time to attack it like the one back in Liurnia before it will summon additional spirits, but I don't think so. It's very squishy and dies very quickly once it's not hiding behind its spirit summons like some sort of coward without a shell. Said the person who called in Tish before the fighting even began, to spare their own tender flesh the risk of an impending beating. Once it decided to show its ugly face, I killed the snail in 3 hits or so and it didn't attack me in that short time span. I actually didn't think it could attack at all, but since recording the video I have learned that it can spit poison at you, but most notably, it has a quite spectacular grab attack. So, watch out for that. It really wouldn't be a great main character moment to defeat 2 Godskins in a row only to be grabbed and violated by a snail. Not even a fancy glowing snail. And now for the usual boring details about my character. I play as a mostly dexterity build. My melee weapon is the Guardian Swordspear with keen affinity and Thunderbolt Ash of War. My shield is the Great Turtle Shell, which I mostly wear for the stamina recovery. I was level 147 when this video was recorded, which I think is a bit high for this content. I'm always looking for the sweet spot where it's not mind-numbing easy mode, but also not so difficult that I will be stuck on the same boss for hours. Anyway, this is the end of this Spiritcaller Snail video. Thanks for watching. Check out the YouTube channel or Miklix.com for more videos. You could even consider being completely awesome by liking and subscribing. Until next time, have fun and happy gaming!